Hi and welcome to the Restoration Shack. My name is Mark if you've not seen me before, and I kind of do lowrider builds, lowrider bike builds, work on my own vehicles. I've got an SLK which I've been working on this summer, and then this is a bit of a teaser for what's coming up over the winter. This is, most of you will know probably what this is. This is an air-cooled flat 4 engine for VWs, older VWs. At the minute it's locked up. It's had water, even for an air cooled, it's had water go down into the carburetor here, and I think it seized. I haven't got it off yet, but I think it seized this side up, so it's locked up. So what I've done is I've pulled the plugs, and I've dumped a mixture of this, which is I've seen a lot of American YouTubers using. It's called PB Blaster. So I bought some of that, put a mixture of that and diesel down all the cylinders. I think the cylinders on this side, which I think are 1 and 2, are fine. Doesn't look to be much on that side. Like I say, the previous owner did tell me that water had leaked down here and gone in. So I'm going to strip it down, hopefully get it unseized. And then get it painted up and done and ready. I'm going to change there's a generator here. I'm going to change that off, put an alternator on, and I've got some other trick bits coming, and we'll get this built up, hopefully running, and this will go into the new project. So stay with me on this one. It's going to be quite exciting. We've got this one going when this project, and also I've got a big lowrider build that's the first video has been posted. So yeah, some exciting times and some exciting videos coming up. So in the last shots you saw, you might have seen me trying to get this engine freed off. I've managed to start getting it moving. I've actually done a little bit and then realised I wasn't filming. One of these days I'll get the hang of this YouTubing. But basically I've stripped most of it off. Actually, they're all the engine tins, so these bits kind of go over the cylinders to keep it all cool. I think that's actually that side. These go up, sit over there. You've got the fan shroud and all that sort of stuff, and then the carbs. Really shouldn't be putting it on top of the Merc, but anyway. And then I've got the front pulley, which I've taken off of there. So the engine is turning. Stripped in. I've started putting just put some cloths in all the ports, holes anyway, like that, gaps. I've got a couple of bits on order ready to come. So today I'm basically going to start cleaning this down, and I'm going to actually repaint it. So I like red, and I think black and red is a good combo. So when the vehicle's done and then the engine's nice in there, so I'm going to have like red block, keep these all kind of natural aluminium coloured, and then make the tins all black for it. I can't actually rotate the engine, as in, from the crank, because of the how it's fastened to the engine stand, but I can actually 360 degree the whole engine by just pulling this pin, and I can turn the dolly so I can actually get underneath and look at all the other stuff. I'm going to basically, I've got a mix of diesel, WD-40, engine oil that's in the bottom there, so that's going to be a mess. So I'm basically going to do an oil drop on it to get rid of all that gunk and liquids, and then we'll start cleaning it down and getting it prepped for paint. So you probably have to bear with me a little bit as well, as you always do, and I really do appreciate that. I mean, I looked this morning and I'm up to 500 subscribers, which for me is massive, and I've just got to say thank you to everybody that's started following me, and hope you're enjoying it. But basically, as we're going through, you've seen the workshop. I'm cramped at the minute with 2 cars in here, but I'm also starting to upgrade some of the stuff I'm using. So the camera, I'm using a new camera today, so hopefully it's better, or at least the same quality as before in regards to the picture. Maybe not the content, because I'm still in it and I'm talking, but that aside, hopefully, like I say, we'll get better and better as we go on. So we've got a new mic and a new camera, so that hopefully should allow us to zoom in and out once I get that kind of mastered. So as I said, I've got the engine stripped down, got the front pulley off, I've left the oil cooler on top here, which you can just see in frame. That's another thing with this camera, I can see what I'm doing now, so I know if you can see. All the tins are off, blocked all the ports up, so what I'm going to do is, this trolley that I've got a fairly decent shelf underneath, and somewhere I've got my oil pan. So basically I can take the screw out of there and the vent screw out of there. I'll pop that underneath the engine and then that'll capture all my oil. Try and get this gunk out. Ideally you'd want to warm the engine, or I'd want to warm it before I start doing all this, but as I say, this is static and a bit of a rebuild, so I'm just having to work with what I've got. And I think this is going to be pretty thin anyway, with it being with having all that diesel in it. I think it's 10 mil. Sockets and spanners everywhere, and I can't find a single one when I need it. Nope. So basically I'm going to drop the whole lot, rather than just take the sump plug out. I'm just going to take the whole strainer out and show you, see what condition we've got in there. I think it's going to be quite a lot. Like I say, I filled all the, in fact I've got water coming out of here. So that explains a bit where I said that the engine was seized. I've now got quite a lot of water running out the bottom of the sump. So try and loosen these a bit more. Can't see now. This is where it all goes wrong, isn't it? I think we haven't got quite all of them, but you can see there's some sort of yellow liquid here, which is like a mix of oil and water. I don't know if you can see that with my finger. It's like a emulsion. So it's a mess, a mix of diesel, oil, water, a lot. But yeah, hopefully you can see in the pan there, that's what we're getting out, like a mix now of water and gunk. Trying not to prise that off too much, because as I say, when that drops it's going to go everywhere. Try and get this other bolt. Better at least then get a purchase on the bolts and see what condition they're in as they're coming out. So looking at some of them are the original nuts, and some have actually got bolts in. So we're nearly there. This is dropping quite well now, so I don't know how much oil was in it, but still quite a lot of water as well. Sorry, I'm in this shot. As I said before, I'm trying not to get this everywhere. It never usually works, but we'll see. Yeah, that is a nasty concoction. Like I say, a lot of it might be down to the fact it's got diesel in the oil. If it's gone, because I poured it everywhere I could, but there's a lot of thick goop there, so I think they had quite a lot of water in, which is probably why two of the cylinders had stuck. But they have come free, so there's no real. I've got to just put a scope down and get one and just make sure there's no pitting on the things. I mean, I might just take the cylinder head off, but I'm trying not to disturb the engine if I can. So what I'm going to try and do is get an old gearbox, cut that down and put a starter on it, and then just spin it round and just try and clean the bores that way. I mean, the engine was it was the engine in the Beetle originally, but it basically was taken out once it locked up. So to be honest, it was given to me as a scrap. So if I can get it running and overhaul it, that's good. Let's see what happens if I can. There we go. Just get this final bolt out. That's not a good bolt, that thing. That's quite tight. People have been here before me, obviously. I need to get that strainer out because that'll be filthy. Probably gumped up as well. Right. Last bolt. Let's get this off, see what happens. You ready? There we go. So as you can see from that, it's green and it's like a grey. It's like just slime. It's thick. That's pretty bad. Even under that, there's like a black sludge as well. So yeah, needs further to work. Just going to try and pull that strainer as well. Actually, the strainer's not, well, it probably is when it's cleaned up, but it's not bad. It's saying gunk on it, but a gasket. Yeah, it's like, it's a bit like snot, as we'd say in the UK. So, it's a bit worse than expected in the on the oil. I expected a bit of water perhaps, or some emulsification. Didn't expect it to like the thick grey gunge in there as well. So I think what I'll do is I'll get some old oil once we've built it, painted it and that. Some old oil in it. Get a probably like I've got an impact drill, or if I can get that gearbox cone sorted, and basically just spin it over a few times, just to kind of get that oil mixed, the fresh oil mixed with the rest of the crap in there, and then drop it again. I'm not going to do a flush. I'm happy for comments actually if people know of a good, maybe a good flush. I've not usually done them because I think sometimes they do more harm than good, but I'm happy to listen to anybody that knows. As I say, I don't know everything. I'm just kind of going along and just doing a little bit of knowledge that I've got and putting towards this, but I'm happy to sort of learn as I go. So if you know of a decent or good process other than what I'm going to do with the oil, and run that round, then let me know and I'll do that. As I say, this channel is basically just to help share a bit of my knowledge, but also it's what do you guys want to see. So if I'm happy to go with the flow on that. So what I'm going to do is, as I say, the oil's draining, it's done, there's just odd drops, so I'm just going to leave that to do. Just there's more that I can get out of there, the better. I've got my air gun ready. I'll just knock the compressor off just so it doesn't kick in halfway through and deafen everybody. I'm just going to blow, I've got all the ports and the holes covered, so I'm just going to basically blow off all the crap that's on the engine, just so we've got a clean start, and then I'm going to degrease it. I'm just taking a little like kind of wallpaper scraper, little flat blade, just kind of getting rid of any loose paint that's on there, any grounding dirt as well, any corrosion. I'm just basically work my way through, doing any flat surface I can find. It looks like it's been aerosoled in the past, but they hadn't cleaned it, so it's just basically coming straight off. So while Harry's doing the other cleaning, I'm going to basically just start prepping this with some spirits to get rid of any grease. What I'll do is I'll take this oil cooler off and just have a look underneath and see how it is, and it makes it easier for painting as well. I'll probably take the fuel pump off. I'm a bit wary about taking the distributor off just based on my knowledge. It's a while since I've done that sort of stuff with the distributors and setting them up. I mean, I've got the tools to do it, so I might probably just mark it and set everything up, but since I took the pulley off the front, I didn't actually set the timing up, line it up ready, so it might be a bit more difficult. Actually, that's not too bad. It did look like, once again, they painted it before, and they've painted around there where it's just lifted all the paint plus the oil, but overall that's not too bad as a cooler. So we'll just put that to one side, clean that up, and then carry on. And then on the block itself, just need to fill these two little journals in here so we don't get any kind of debris in there. Flip the engine over, took the put the pan, the oil pan on it. I don't even know what it's called, the cover. This, after I'd cleaned it, pop that on there, sort of cleaned all the loose oils and paints off. And then we've got some high temperature red paint there. And now he's going to basically start doing the bottom of this, and then we'll flip it over, do the sides and the top. So it's had a couple of coats now, I think 3 coats in total. Still a little bit I've noticed there, but it's looking a lot better. See if I can do this one-handed, but try and do it and keep in shot. That's going to turn all out of there, I think. A bit more difficult with one hand than I thought that, but and then we've got the top done as well. Just pop that back in so I don't lose it. That's the fuel pump lifter and stuff like that. Pop that in. So yeah, that's done. So as I'm good, I was going to start looking at painting the jugs, but they're going to be covered up with the tins anyway. So I've just give those probably a bit of a clean. The actual cylinder heads, get them done. I've got new rocker covers that I'm going to get. Because they're kind of rusty and crusty, and I think it's just better. I'd like some nice ones of those. But I think that's going to wrap it up for now. It's basically going to start rebuilding. I've got a couple of kits on order, so a seal kit and gasket kit, so it kind of covers all those gaskets. The one that goes on there, the ones for the oil cooler. Once that arrives, I think we'll start getting this rebuilt. I've managed to source a gearbox, a broken gearbox. Which I can then cut up and use and bolt on to the end onto the flywheel on there. cut the gearbox off and then mount a starter motor so we can maybe do a bench start, or you know, on the frame start like that, and get it going. So I think that's going to wrap it up for now. The video's gone on for a bit. We've got quite a bit done, cleaning wise and strip down wise. I've got the engine tins to do, which I might just pop some short video up of the tins, but I mean that's just going to be, as you saw, having them flattered down, which we've done, and then I'm going to etch prime and probably do a flat black or a semi-gloss black on them, but that's probably just a bit for another time. I've got to sort out the carburetors as well, maybe get a carb kit for those, but I might just clean them out, run them as they are, see if it goes. If not, then we'll get a carb kit, but they're pretty expensive. I think they're about £40–50 each, so that's £100 worth of gaskets I'd need for that, but I'll take a view on that later. But yeah, and thank you for being with me. If you've liked what you've seen and you want to see more of that being done over these coming months, please subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed it. It all helps out. But thank you for being with me while I've been doing some spannering and painting, and I'll see you on the next one.